What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stormwatch, your director's cut version of the Storm series, currently Rogue Storm, issue number 2. I'm your host, Paul of Black Comic Lords. With us is Antoine Dodson, the Storm Sanctuary public relations guru for all things Storm, and of course, the man of the hour, Maria Ayodele, writer of Storm and Rogue Storm. How is everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Doing good. Fantastic.
Sorry for the late start, everyone. My daughter was having some technical difficulties with her computer, and she's doing homework, and that takes priority over stuff like this for me. Okay, so shout out to everybody in the chat. Starting with Wayne Bucard. Yo, man. Thank you for getting your YouTube membership. That gets you admission to our BCL virtual con. That is on December 6th, 2025. We're going to talk more about that later because we have a special guest. This guy over here is going to be one of the panelists with a bunch of writers of his level and tier of respect in the community, the comics community. And we'll talk more about that later. But thank you very much, Wayne. Let me give you, I apologize, everyone. Again, second day in a row, my producer's out traveling. He's on site mission doing whatever he does for the company he works for that has 3 letters. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not allowed to talk about that. But I'm running solo. So bear with me as I try to fumble through my way through his producer duties. I should really give myself a raise.
Yeah.
That's probably not even appropriate because it's technically not a super chat, but I needed to play something. Needed to play something. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Anyone who has not signed up yet, I believe Derek said there should be some type of link at the beginning of the page here for you to join our YouTube channel. Get a membership with Blackcom. It's only $5. Come on. It's $5 and it gets you admission into the virtual con next month. All right. Shout out to AJ. Greetings, Marshall Edwards. Yes, we're starting. Eclectic Blurds Niche. Get your questions ready, man. Just the voice backup. Rogue Store number 2. Yes. Another Storm Watch Thursday is upon us. Psych up, man. Let's go. Sup? Kevin Pitts in the building. Appreciate you, fam. Anthony Davis, appreciate you. Black Spider is back. Thank you. What's up? Like and share. Kevin Pitts sharing the message. Like this video. Little arrow down there. Share this video over your social media. It helps us to do what we do. Spread the word, get the algorithm going, and help to grow the page. Remember to like and share. Thank you, Mel D. I need this today because my girl Aurora was clocked in this book. Y'all need it, man. That's why we're all here. All right, let's go. Let's start by pulling up where we left off in the last issue, the first issue of Rogue Storm. Give me a second, and bam. So, what, Maria, tell us again, what is the status of the Marvel Universe in this post-Revelation world run by Cybers, now called Revelation?
Basically it's we've moved 10 years into the future, although for Rogue Storm we're alternating between 5 years into the future and 10 years into the future. And in the United States, a bunch of states have been taken over by Revelation because of his powers, his controls, some mutants, and also because of the X virus, the calamity that the X virus is causing. So while Rogue Storm focuses on what's happening outside the American continent, what's happening in Africa. So what's is the story happening there? And then by issue 3, we tie it back into, what's happening with Revelation himself, and we're having fun, getting to play with, the landscape outside of the US, in this dystopian future.
So in this future, Rogue has actually, after post this virus, has been split up into two beings: Rogue Red, Rogue Green. Rogue Red is more of the pure form of Rogue, who does not have the power up from Wonder Man or Captain Marvel. She is the pure mutant power siphoner person, feeling a little, less than powerful because she had years of experience with these other powers, flying, invulnerability, super strength, etc. Storm gives her these knuckle dusters made out of a very special metal, which is a combination of vibranium, mysterium, and adamantium. So it's beyond just being having the hardness of adamantium, the ability to absorb energy like vibranium, and the ability to work on a mystical level with the mysterium. It created a new alloy called Anisium. So Storm creates these knuckle dusters for Rogue so that she'll feel a little bit more powerful. Ironically, Storm becomes, in the greater world's view, Rogue. She has gone rogue, to coin a phrase, and she is viewed as being feral and needs to be taken down like a rabid dog. So a group of X-Men or X-Force, which one is it, X-Men or X-Force?
X-Force.
X-Force goes out to take her out, because that's what X-Force does. They take out forces that could affect the rest of the world. As you can see by the image ahead on the screen, it's a bit of a task, and I'm not entirely certain they were successful. Here's the Revelation territories in this new world. Storm, this is her sort of in the past in this Revelation era. We don't know what has made her seemingly go over the edge yet. But we do know she does some things that are somewhat uncharacteristic, like slaughtering a group of fishmen.
Yeah.
How did this series, as an aside, because she literally slaughters these fishmen, how did this series not get a red band?
That's the thing about number one, Tom Brevoort. He is very open to you seeing how far you can get the PG-13 thing, how far you can get there. And also there are a few tricks to still staying in PG-13 while being very, very brutal. It's a few tricks that writers use, for example, if you remember this show on Cartoon Network, Samurai Jack, Samurai Jack is pretty brutal, but how does he get away with it? Oh, everybody he fights are robots and they spew engine oil instead of blood, things like that. So for here, if you've in issue 1, for example, the killings are not human beings, so you get away with some of that. Technically in issue 2 they are human beings, but they're just few things, if it's human beings it's a clean cut. If it's non-human beings, you can go more brutal, like shredding the person. So do you have a way of playing around it?
Maria, as a long-time Star Trek person, I find that highly racist. Are you saying if you're an alien or a mutant or something less than human, you don't get treated humanely in Marvel's eyes. You are fair game to be slaughtered in a brutal
No,
fashion.
no, not in human, not in Marvel eyes. It's
In Tom
yeah,
Brevoort's eyes,
no, no. I think it's a general media thing.
it's
I think
immediate.
it's called I think it's called fantasy violence.
You're saying there's an actual rule on this? Is like a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
called
a thing.
fantasy violence.
Wow.
They did the same thing. I don't know if you remember watching Spider-Man the animated series. You remember when
Yeah.
they brought in Michael Morbius, and
Right.
he couldn't bite people, or drink blood. So they changed it to him having those plasma sucker things on his hands, and plasma was now the way that he fed. So stuff like that. That's how they kind of get around
Yeah.
the other stuff, because he still
So
had the fangs and everything. He just didn't use them.
Because you used red blood on the fishman. You could have used like blue blood or green blood. You went straight red. Because this looks
yeah, that's
pretty.
also why sometimes you see characters that have swords. Characters that have swords might not get to use it as much as characters that have hammers, because in swords you get to cut
Mm-hmm.
people,
Mm-hmm.
or in hammers you can just smash them,
Mm-hmm.
and so there are different ways of playing around with it.
For those in the chat, keep your questions coming. We're going to have a question and answer session later. I'm starring each and every one of your questions so we can go in rapid fire session. All right. So that brings us to the latest issue, Rogue Storm #2. Antoine, you're my cover guy. Who's doing these covers?
Oh, first one is Humberto Ramos. Second one is in
Yukili.
Inyakli.
I always mess his name up. And then is Pablo Villalobos for the Rogue.
The one I ordered from my LCS was the one in the middle by Inyakli.
A lot of people
street team outfit. Yeah, that's dope.
That one's really popular.
I'm not sure how true it is, but I think when I was doing research into the industry and everything, I think I heard of a story where I think in the US there's a different tax for toys that are human toys and toys that are not human, and to avoid some of those taxes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Marvel Comics said, oh yeah, our characters are not humans, they are mutates and mutants.
Yeah.
And we're able to get away with it. So yeah, it's some of all those things you used to like get away with, like ratings and all those things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that Pablo Villalobos very much looks like Terry Dodson. I said the same thing to Antoine.
Said that earlier. Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into this issue. Here's the knuckle dusters that Aurora gave to Rogue, and yet Rogue no longer possesses it. That makes me think that something happened to Rogue.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to Rogue.
Yeah.
Something happened.
That's not ominous at all.
That's not ominous at all.
So we can't get these next panels. I'm not certain how to react to. Genuinely, I'm not certain how to react to these panels. But she takes the knuckle dusters and wraps it in what?
A magical aura of some sorts.
A magical aura, and then she consumes it.
Yeah.
Now, the last time she consumed something that like this, I'm not even going to touch the question of how she's able to open her mouth that wide. I'm not touching that. But the last time we saw her consume something like this was when she had defeated EEGUN and had consumed him. But that was when she was under the influence still as a host of eternity. So how is it that she is still able to consume items like this?
Number one, it's supposed to be like a visual throwback to Storm. That storyline between Storm 3 and Storm 5 supposed to be a throwback to, so that visually, if you've been following this series, you remember that. And throughout this entire issue, every single scene is a throwback to that storyline. So it's opening as a throwback to that, so that you can think of, so I can be in that mindset. It's a little writer's trick, it's to prime your long-term memory, so that as you keep reading this story, you keep remembering more things from there. It's to kickstart that process of, oh yeah, where that part is in your memory, start retrieving information from it. So it's a way of kickstarting that. So that's number one. Number two is magic is weird. So I'm going to kind of pay off why she swallowed this, in issue 3. And we're also going to see that this storm is different from the storm that we know. This is a more mystical storm that does more weird, strange things as well. There are things that we'll see the payoff for in issue 3, but that's also another reason why this page is silent, is so that you can remember it when it's been referenced later.
Silver Space Sentry says, "Thank you for finally having Storm answer the question, what that mouth do?" I have no comment on that. Moving on. Okay, so here's the thing. Doton, I don't know if you saw, I did a show last night with the other Black Comic Lords, our Wednesday wrap up, and we talked about you a little bit. And I mentioned the fact that I think time will show that you will at some level be considered one of the most definitive writers the Storm has ever had, second only possibly to Chris Claremont. That's how your run is ending up in terms of defining the character. But one of the things that Storm could be criticized for is not having an extensive rogues gallery.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the Shadow King, maybe Callisto, occasionally Emma Frost. I mean, who are her rogues?
Well,
yeah,
here's the thing with that. I think what you're saying is valid, and I will say that. But I do think that she's had more. I would say she's had more run-ins than people give her credit for too, because the X-Men. If you go back to Chris Claremont's run, Storm was the introduction to the X-Men and vampires through Dracula. So their relationship with vampires started with Storm. And then she had a rivalry going with Chandra, who's one of the Eternals for a while back in the 90s. So, she's had a few, but not on the level of some of the other solo heroes. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, she's had plenty of antagonists, but not enough recurring rogues to add to her gallery.
Yeah. And to add to that, number one, thank you very much. I don't think I deserve it, but I appreciate it. But also, yes, she's had antagonists, but I think I get where both of you are coming from. I think it's the fact that most of our antagonists she shares with other characters as well.
Right. Correct.
Like even the Shadow King, we've seen Shadow King being a menace to Psylocke. We've seen him being a menace to Charles Xavier, even in the Legion TV show, it was the main bad, so things like that. So she shares. So for someone that's just familiar with the TV shows, if you say Shadow King, you don't think Storm, you just think Legion. For some people think so. It's those kind of things that like Dracula now. Dracula is you have that with Blade. You have that with Moon Knight, so a lot of members of our rogues, she shares them with a lot of characters, even Dr. Doom, Dr. Doom is one as well that's she's had serious encounters with, that you can say he's a member of our rogues gallery, but she shares Dr. Doom with T'Challa, she shares it with the Fantastic Four, shares it with the Avengers, so it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the reason I mention this is you have created in EEGUN someone who I think deserves a prime spot in her rogues gallery, because this is an antagonist. for her.
Yeah.
She does not share a goon with anyone else. This is her big bad, or at least one of them. And moreover, in this issue, we see this dude's a whole problem. I mean, you said menace. This dude's a complete menace, and definitely worthy of this is her adversary. At some point she's mentioning here that she's been trying to track him down for 5 years. So I know this takes place in the future. Will we see in the next few issues how he got loose?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Silver Space Sentry says EEGUN gives me the adversary vibes like an X-Men 97. Yeah, but the adversary is kind of a wuss in comparison to EEGUN, man. EEGUN is like a whole problem. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I like the intimacy that he shares with Ororo. I like there's a little part of it that is like Wolverine and Sabretooth, you know, and there's also the part that it feels like EEGUN even knows more about Storm than Storm knows about herself, you know.
Right.
EEGUN is saying, like, EEGUN calls her by name, yes, but usually calls her descendant of Ashake, almost like, oh, I know you from your ancestors. When someone says they know you from your ancestors, that's deep, you know. And even this opening sequence, you know, is a dream sequence of some sort. So it's almost like EEGUN also has access to Storm's mind. She's in Storm's mind right now, you know, and everything he says in Storm's mind, he references it in the real world at the end of the story. So it's like the connection there is very, very intimate. It's crazy. It's the danger of Sabretooth Wolverine and the mind. I don't want to use the F word, but of, you know, like Joker and Batman, you know. So it's really, really, it's uniquely ours, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, she thinks she has the advantage. She slices him open. He even feigns like he's being hurt, like, oh, only to laugh it off and shrug it off and say, that's cute. That's funny. You think you're slicing me up. Somebody's coming for you, girl. They're gonna come get you. And then she realizes this has all been a nightmare. And the person who wakes her up is not a person. It's Daniel Drum. For those who are unfamiliar, he is the twin brother of Jericho Drum, Dr. Voodoo.
Yeah.
Daniel Drum was the actual original Brother Voodoo, who was killed in Haiti, which led to his brother going to Haiti and taking on the mantle of Brother Voodoo by training. Read the comics. Strange Tales 169 through 173. Read those classic issues. I digress. Tell us what's going on here. Why is Daniel Drum hanging out with Ororo, and where's my man, Dr. Voodoo?
I don't think we've said it in this story, but technically you've seen Dr. Voodoo already in this series, but you just don't know you've seen him already in this series. It was in the opening scene of issue 1, but you wouldn't know you've seen him. But when we continue the story, you would know you've seen him.
He was a toad, wasn't
he? No. But okay, I think I can give the spoiler since we know that he's dead by the end. But in the opening scene where you see Atlanta, you see a corpse with red capes. That was him. So would show. So in issue 3, would show how he got to Atlanta dead, and you know that link. You know, EEGUN is crazy. It's basically he killed all the major mystics of the world, and he went back to bring all their corpses just to eat them in front of Storm to like be like, yeah, FU, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's just I saw it appropriate to have Daniel Drum here because Dr. Voodoo is also just as is linked, to EEGUN. It's something we also explore a little in issue 3, the next issue, and seeing Daniel Drum here, like as Dr. Voodoo's backup plan, like if something happens to me, you should be the one to lead, Ororo to her destiny, so able to get rid of this terrible demon.
Yeah. All right. Gambit is coming for her. Gambit's riding a motorcycle. Gambit is blind. Gambit is being Gambit and throwing kinetically charged cards at her, and he's blind. How is a blind man riding on a motorcycle throwing kinetically charged cards with deadly accuracy at Storm?
Two things. Number one is do you remember Old Man Logan by Mark Miller?
Of course.
Yeah, Old Man Hawkeye was just driving and every time he was blind. So it's inspired by that. That's one. So it's supposed to be a throwback to that. That's one. Two.
Old Man Gambit.
Yeah. So two is in my scripts I said he has sonar, like he releases a little bit of his kinetic energy and it gets some of it returned back. I referenced it in issue 3, but we had to cut it last minute for some reasons. But in my head canon, he has developed some sonar based on his powers.
I knew that you were going to give me some type of answer like that. It wasn't going to be something simple as, well, he's blind, so his other senses just get more sensitive. I knew it had to be a Maria Ayudeli, well thought out reason. I mean, I anticipated your answer was going to, because that's why I pulled out this panel in particular. He's throwing out the charged cards. He senses kinetic energy as part of his mutant ability, right. And that sense adds kind of a sonar power to him, because as he throws it out, it's like he can then see his surroundings or feel his surroundings based on the kinetic energy being thrown out.
Right. And we have to remember kinetic energy is, the wind, air. That's kinetic energy, movement.
Right. Right.
And
that's why he's on a motorcycle and not a car, because it allows him to feel more of the energy around him.
Exactly. And there's some things I had to just cut, because of space. Number one, I was crowding the art and some other reasons. But it's also why Gambit is shocked that Storm just shot an arrow straight. Gambit expects that Storm, also being able to feel the energy in the atmosphere, should know it was him coming. But Storm right now does not have her powers, so she couldn't feel his presence. So it's one of those little things,
So Eclectic Birdie Nietzsche asks the question, is he probably on Matt Murdock's level?
Okay, here's the thing. I think Matt Murdock can sense you, even if you're an energy manipulator. If you're an energy manipulator, you would sense Gambit trying to read you because it's sending something out too. So
I love this change in the powers. This is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I said change. That's poorly worded. I love your expounding upon the powers.
Yeah.
As evidence, because in essence, you're saying both of them, both Storm and Gambit, have grown in their powers in their older age to where they can feel. Both of them are energy wielders, and they're using that energy wielding ability to sense their surroundings and see with that energy wielding power. And then it kind of hits it home visually. I love the artist on this, because she's using it to send the arrows. He's using it to send his cards, and the two of them, hit each other. It's kind of like showing that, you know, I thought that was visually kind of cool.
Absolutely. Page. I love it.
Madawe says, thank you for confirming Storm can feel her surroundings via her psionic connection to the environment. That's a very well phrased way of saying it.
Yeah. Bishop mentioned it in Storm 12.
Yes.
When Margot was taken down, you know, Bishop was like, you know, Storm, who is attacking us, you can sense all these things, who is attacking us, you know, that kind of thing.
Dope. I love the way you keep expanding upon her powers. That's awesome. What is Hunter's Madness? And what is Agbada Odos?
So okay, so it's going to be explained in issue 3, but I can give a little spoiler. Storm's ancestor Ashake uses a magic system called Shadow Path. And you know, when she's using the spell, she says something like, "Oh, by the power of Antoine, you know, I sing this song, you know." And by using that power, you automatically have, you know, Antoine's voice, and then you're able to like sing.
How long have you had that in your mental reservoir? By the power of Antoine, now you sing this song.
Yeah. So but she does it for like, you know, deities, you know, and it's usually like Egyptian deities. So Storm is using, you know, because she's semi-trained by drum, which uses voodoo and some Yoruba stuff, and then mixing it with, you know, that power sets from the Shadow Path from her ancestor. So this is one where she calls on the power of the Orishas, you know. So Agbara is just power, and Oshosi is the name of a god, is an Orisha, and that god is a hunter. So in issue 3, she's going to use Shango, Agbara Shango, and then we'll see her use, you know, that power set. You know, but for here, you know, because she has the bow and everything, she's, you know, taking on the power of, you know, a hunter, you know. So it's, you know, Agbara Shango. You know, warriors have warriors madness, so it's like, yeah, hunters madness, you know.
I love this panel, the second panel, the way Aurora looks with her face makeup, outfit. It still has her X-Men. So she's still loyal to her X-Men from her perspective, as evidenced by the fact she still has the X-Men badge on.
Yeah, the shoulder pad is the shoulder pad from Jim Lee costume.
Yeah.
Right.
And and I know this is probably going too far into, but I was wondering, like, how is she keeping that shoulder pad on her shoulder? Because it's not anything.
It's the muscles.
Yes. But no, I absolutely loved this page and the heavily anime inspired Hunter's Madness panel. I really enjoyed that for sure. Awesome colors, awesome art in this one. Even this one, I love
awesome lettering.
Yeah, this is what's the name of your artist again?
Roland Bosky.
Yeah.
Incredible art, man.
Yeah, he's been someone I've really enjoyed for years now, long time. He's actually one of my favorites. He's done several series that I've really enjoyed because he just does dark and gritty really well. And I like stories that are dark and gritty anyway, so it works for me. I get, you know, it could be an acquired taste for some. I do understand that, but to me, I think he was the perfect pick for this. And you know, I think I love Wernick and I love what he did, you know, prior. But I love you, Lucas. I have to give this one to Roland. Like, he was the perfect person for this book.
Yeah. I think he's objectively dope, honestly, and the tone fits. The tone of the book. Absolutely.
Awesome details. So even in the one before where her ear, like even just the way he drew her ear, it's just like, my God. It was a couple. That one right there. I mean, look at that. And the way they colored it, you know, the way Niraj, he colored
And I love the way it draws the environment. Like if you look
Yeah.
at the establishing shots of Abeokuta, that location is called how am I forgetting it? Now it's basically a very popular location in Abeokuta. It's a big rock that is revered there because during times of war, a lot of people sought shelter there, and it's always like this fortress and protection, natural fortress and protection. So yeah, why am I blanking on it? I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, but yeah, so he rendered it so beautifully and everything. So
Yeah.
he gets those locations well, just like he did for the Ocean Groves in issue 1. If you see the images of the actual place, everything, he gets it perfectly.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can Google it.
All right. Those were just the first several pages. Now we get to the title page.
Oh, I love this
Yeah.
title. Yes.
No, those title pages are like covers, like they're just dope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best served cold. Tell us the meaning behind this, other than the obvious for this title.
Yeah, it's the obvious. Sorry.
It's the obvious. Best served cold. Revenge. This is a revenge issue.
Yeah.
If you're doing a song that you're playing in the background, a soundtrack to this issue, it would be The Big Payback by James Brown.
Yeah. It's revenge for Storm. It's revenge for Gambit. It's revenge for EEGUN. EEGUN. It's revenge for those 3 characters, and majority of the story does take place in an Arctic kind of climate too. So yeah.
All right, this Arctic climate used to be where I guess the
Sahara.
Sahara Desert was. Storm is captured in this bubble that she is reinforcing with her powers, creating pressure on the inside of it.
Yeah. I don't think many people know this about Phantom X. I should have sent you some images, but Phantom X does this thing, that when he has a drink, like a cup of water or drink or anything, he pours it over on his head.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just a weird thing that most people don't notice. I think it's been done by Grant Morrison and Rick Remender. Just pours random stuff on his head. So I just put it, instead of for the homies, I pour it on the ground. Just pours it over on his head. Just random continuity things that if you're a Phantom X fan and it, you're like, oh, he just did the thing.
So flashback to when Rogue still had the knuckle dusters and was going after Storm. Back in the Sahara Desert, chasing after Storm in her Fortress of Solitude. They see she's in the bowl.
Oh yeah, I love this exchange. This is really
this exchange is everything.
Yeah,
because oftentimes, and he just does it in 2 panels. Incredible. Oftentimes, debates in these spaces, on these mutant spaces, is who has greater power, Iceman or Storm, particularly when it comes to temperatures. And I love the way Iceman puts it. He's like, I'm the best at taking heat out of a system, but putting energy into a system, I wouldn't want to tussle with Storm at that. So I love it for a very simple reason. It's a flex on Storm that Iceman has so much respect for her ability to be an energy manipulator without conceding the fact or just recognizing his own swag in the sense that nobody
respectable characters
can take out, the energy out of an object better than Iceman.
Right.
I mean, this is a guy who's Omega level on his own right, who in one writer's iteration, his powers allowed him to teleport because of his ability to inverse energy.
in some stories, I think was able to stop time, which is basically
Mhm.
it's the fact that it was able to take energy out of the system so much that time could not move forward anymore, and it just stopped it.
He
So
So it's
froze
like
time.
yes, so it's
Bobby Drake,
basically yes,
crazy
Yeah,
power.
yeah,
absolutely. The hands down.
I,
No
I
doubt
forget which Avengers story it was where he basically became the big bad, and he was basically viewed as a ice god.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
do recall that one. Yeah.
so and then he goes into detail about what his abilities are. He says, if I try to melt the ice with my powers or keeping it while her powers are keeping it frozen, it's like a tug of war between two of the strongest weightlifters, both pulling with their weakest muscles, competing at what we're both worst at. We'll be here for months.
yeah, because
Simple explanation, but a very, very good analogy.
Yeah.
yeah, because if you wanted to cook something, if you wanted something really, really hot, you don't call Iceman. You probably call Storm,
Right.
And if you wanted something to become really, really cold, you call Iceman. So it's like, yeah, we are both worst at that. And now you are telling us to compete at that. Like, we'll be here for months.
Yeah.
Right. Right. As Just a Voice backup says, it gives them both their flowers. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Which
I
they both.
loved writing the line for the homies too.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's go to this next one here. So she breaks free because, she's Storm.
Mhm.
And she bodies X-Force.
Don't you just love these layouts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Slice. Like I could hear the sound effects in this.
Name.
This is like a Kill Bill scene where it's like slice his head off, slice that arm off, slice eviscerate this person's innards. This is crazy, man.
Yeah. And if you notice, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, say it.
I was just gonna say, if you look at, I think some people miss what was going on with Rogue, because at first you see it says choke, but then you see the storm starts freezing her, and that panel in the middle, sort of middle,
yeah. It's different things that people might miss that just how to put it in the SFX, and also look at the panel layouts, the color, the everything, the callbacks. It's it's like Aquagen, you get Aquagen, you go to Storm, Phantom X, Aquagen, Rogue, Phantom X, Aquagen. There's a pattern to it. The colors are blue for Aquagen, so it's blue, 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 white for Rogue, then red for it's just this. It's such a beautiful, beautiful page. The layouts, it's the pattern, everything is there. It's so strong, strong. And it also and using Phantom X as the time gap shows you how fast everything happened. Like Phantom X body hasn't hit the ground yet, and everyone is going like
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't think we're showing it here, but I did want to mention, because some people were like, "Well, Iceman can't be taken down that easily." From my understanding, when I was looking at it, after she cut him up, it looked like there was a spell that was keeping his body dismembered, so that he couldn't coalesce.
Yeah, Iceman is immortal, so just breaking him or melting him won't solve it. So that's why you have the magic spell there.
Yeah. As James Thomas had said, this is an amazing series.
Thank you.
All right.
So too.
So the newest character, one of your creations, what's her name again?
Aquagen.
She betrays the X-Men. Literally stabs Rogue in the back, pun intended. A little on the nose, but the effect is definitely there. So when Gambit is asked, confronting Storm and saying, "Did you kill Rogue?" We now know technically it really wasn't her. It was Aquagen.
Right.
This is one of the most visually disturbing pages. We have seen Storm take huge objects into her mouth, and now we're seeing her.
Sorry.
That came out wrong. I apologize. We're seeing EEGUN exit her body yet again.
Yes. Sorry.
I'd love to see the notes on what Maria gave to the artist on this. How did you describe this to the artist?
The first panel,
Yes.
a bunch of mood boards from like horror flicks, while also describing it too.
This literally looks like it came out of a horror film.
Yeah. It's crazy.
What caused the release of EEGUN?
Removing Storm's powers.
Which powers?
Mutant powers.
Okay.
I
it was
also
the
love
mutant powers that would keep EEGUN in check, not the mystical powers.
It's both, but you need both, so and if one is gone. It's why I love playing with Rogue Red in this story, is because we didn't see Rogue Red in issue 1, flying and with super strength and everything. Everyone just assumed, oh, she has 0 powers, so people didn't see it coming, like, oh yeah, she could just absorb powers, so we think she doesn't have powers at all. But it's like, yeah, Rogue's original power set, if you'd see her, you would think she has no powers, because she can't fly, she can't jump, she can't do anything. It's just, oh, she can just absorb your powers,
Yeah.
So people, I think a lot of people didn't see the fact that they didn't see coming that, oh yeah, Rogue can just absorb Storm's powers this close, So yeah, I love the character dynamic there, and and also Akujin, a lot of people are like, oh, who is Akujin? You're not sure. So seeing her betray the team is not unexpected, but it just makes sense to, like, oh yeah, the character that we don't know is the traitor.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. So with Rogue Red, is her power the same as Rogue's, where she temporarily takes the power of whomever she touches, or is it a permanent thing in this case?
Rogue, it depends on how long Rogue holds you. So it's temporary if just for a short time, but if she holds you for a long time, it's more permanent, but we'll have to see in issue 3. But so far, Storm has only been using, since issue 1, Storm has only been using her magical powers. So yeah, so it's safe to assume that her mutant powers are gone. She's just using her mystical abilities. And it's a way of me trying to explore the debate that people have of, Storm already is this incredibly powerful mutant, if she also had mystical abilities, like has been, teased for ages by Claremont and a lot of awesome, writers that have worked on Storm. If you had to make that, she would be too OP, or the stories would be uninteresting, getting to see, Storm and mystical. So this is me just trying to be like, okay, you know what, let's see the mystical thing. In the mystical thing, she will still get to use, mystical things to do things that her mutant abilities can do, and then extra, if it works here, it might be able to work in the main timeline. So this is also a form of slight experiments to see, how well, Storm can walk in, the mystical realm. And I think it works, and that's why we're bringing it back in full force, in 616.
So, translation, y'all, make sure you pre-order Maria's work if you want to dive deeper down the rabbit hole of Storm's mystical side.
Yeah.
All right. So here, man, Storm looks great.
Mm-hmm.
She really looks great.
Those eye things.
Yeah, yeah. Then we have so they're finally sort of trying to reach an accord, and it's broken up by someone who refers to her as Aurora, descendant of Ashaki. He sees everything. You mentioned before that EEGUN seems to know everything about her. He seems to be watching her constantly because he is aware of the fact that the fishmen of Osun were wiped out by her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's what the stubborn part. This is why I said this dude's a whole problem. At least with some of her other adversaries, the adversary or the Shadow King, it seemed a lot of their powers were sort of based on illusions, nightmares and things of that nature. This guy says, I've been hard at work making sure none of this world's mystics would interrupt our little soiree. Then you see him visually take Dr. Drum, Scarlet Witch, Victor Von Doom. Who else is there? Is that David Hellstrom, Doctor Strange? Is that Clea as well?
That's Clea, yeah.
Yeah. It says here, Agana Harth, and he eats them, he consumes them. Yeah. Is this figurative or literal?
Oh, literal.
He literally
he eats them.
Yeah, he said it in if you go back and read Storm issue 4, he says it to Dr. Doom, when he escapes and kills Storm. And Dr. Doom was trying to, fight him, and Dr. Doom and EEGUN says, "Oh, it's been a long time since I've eaten a Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
Don't go overcook yourself." He says it. So it's like, yeah, I literally eat Sorcerer Supremes. Like, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And virtually all these characters, they have been Sorcerer Supremes at one point or the other in Marvel continuity.
Right. Right. And he even stabs them the same way that he did Storm in number 4. With his fingernails, rather.
Agatha Harkness, Damon Hellstrom. He basically wiped out the entire Marvel mystical universe except for Pandora Peters. People are now sitting there going, "Who?
Who?"
Pandora Peters.
We'll see more mystics in the next issue.
Oh, will it be Pandora Peters?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Fair enough. Talking about the many feats, the next volume of Storm should be called "The Many Feats of Aurora Monroe" by Maria Iodelli.
I think if you say it that way, you might get a lot of people with weird kinks buying the book.
Well, Jesus, I just now got that. Regardless, you have consistently expounded upon her powers and abilities and many feats that she's done in her book. She goes, "This is it, Storm, goddess of earth, all I can muster, all of my mighty wickedness against your valor." She then creates what?
It's a saddle. I wanted to see her, ride a bunch of animals that we've grown to love in the main Storm series. The hippos. We see that one in issue 1. So it's basically the saddle itself is a magical saddle that summons animal companions from thin air. So this is a visually interesting magical way of showing how it summons the razor bill from Storm 3, Storm 4. Basically,
Maria, you're underselling it. You're underselling it.
And
you have Storm create a friggin' lightning mystical saddle and summoning. Look, for all of my Marvel mystical people, you got your necromancers, you got your summoners, your sorcerers, sorceresses. your mystics. These are all different areas of the mystical realm, different powers and ability. Summoning is nothing other than summoning weather, energy. You've never seen her summon a person or a creature before. But think before you start going, because I know there's the haters going, she can't do that. He's making her OP again. Understand what her powers are. She is an energy manipulator. If you watch Star Trek, which every intelligent person should, you see how transporters work, right? They take matter, convert it to energy on a quantum level, and shoot it someplace else and reconstitute it. She is an energy manipulator. She is literally tied to the universe, certainly Earth. So is it beyond the scale of imagination that 10 years from now, this Omega level mutant sits around, contemplates her navel, and says, you know what? I can actually use energy and create stuff. Possibly not. As evidenced by the fact of what just happened in China last week in the discovery of using quantum energy to transport information, which is the future. Yes, I do sometimes read stuff other than comic books. Razor Bill's back. Yes, she summons friggin' Razor Bill back. I call him Razor Bill because that's what he is. It's not his name because you haven't told us the name yet.
Yeah.
So I'll call him Razor Bill because it still sounds pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty cool. And now that Doom is dead, Razor Bill is probably pissed.
He can come back. His RB. Does he get to talk in the next issue? Does he get fun quips again?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
That'll probably be later.
You're asking the wrong question, Antoine. We want to hope Razor Bill even survives the next issue, the way the Maria's going. He's killing everybody. Everybody can get it in Maria Ideli's books, including the titular character. He's killed her already.
Yeah, this is true. Brutally at that.
Technically twice. Oh, this guy just loves murdering people. All right. To be concluded. This is a great page, by the way. Great splash page.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
I love how in the prior page we see EEGUN rise up, and I'm sorry, maybe one before that one. When he rises up, and you could tell he's still like far away from where Storm and Gambit are, but it just goes to show you how large he's become. Yeah, I just like stuff like that. It reminds me of several shows and movies have done.
Oh yeah, I think there was one. Yeah, there was one that his wings
people are impaled on his fingers.
Yeah.
As I said,
he's also there's a lot of things that inspired this character. Part of it is also Aku from Samurai Jack.
Oh right, yeah. I love it. Yeah.
That's a deep cut, Maria.
But a good one.
I mean, this is pretty iconic. You got her in her outfit with the makeup and the African tribal isms on her, and she's wielding a friggin' lightning axe, which you still haven't told us where she got that from. And she's riding in the friendly skies, the beautiful skies, on the Razor Bill. This is pretty iconic.
It's awesome. It's
pretty awesome. So next issue, Rogue Storm. How many issues is this series?
3.
So this is the final issue. Antoine, who's doing these covers?
Okay, so of course it's Ramos, the first one. The second one is Ben Harvey, and the third one is Nimit Malavia.
Yeah, that's the one right there. I hope that's the one I ordered because I think that's dope.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got all 3, but I love them. I got the version variant of the Street Verse one too because I just couldn't resist. I was like, yeah, give me that one.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah.
I had to have that one.
All right. What is this?
The previews for the sneak peeks of the next issue.
Number 3.
Let me make this big. Let me make this big. How do I do that? I have no idea how to do that. Um,
Full screen.
there we go.
Yeah. So
Talk to us.
this is
Oh,
Storm.
hold on. I got to do my producer thing.
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
There we go. Take that, Derek.
This is Storm wreaking havoc, to EEGUN's army, while evoking, Agbara Shango, So yeah, it's crazy. We see that, a fire hair and god crown from the Black Vortex form is also back, but paired with a primal storm look. It's crazy bloody. Yeah. So yeah, if you think issue 2 was bloody and violent and crazy and should be red band, dude, wait till you read issue 3. It's crazy. Yeah, it's more violent, it's more action packed, it's just crazy.
That looks like that scene from Avengers Age of Ultron.
You said?
I said that reminds me of the scene from Avengers Age of Ultron where all the dead Avengers were around.
Yeah, yes.
People are loving this Rogue Storm version. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's us, we are fulfilling the promise of the title Rogue Storm in multiple ways. This is Storm gone rogue. This is Rogue that has become Storm because she took Storm's powers. This is Storm that is conjuring the powers of gods, like she's Rogue. It's just on different levels, of Rogue Storm.
Yeah. People are asking questions. Save that question for later. All right, let's go to the next image.
So this is one of the panels from the next issue. It's people have been like, oh, what does this have to do with Age of Revelation? We've not seen Revelation anything. In the next issue, we get to answer, how this story ties into Age of Revelation. So yeah, it's a panel from it.
All right, so let's get into our. Damn, how do I do this? No, that's me. Don't need it to be me. There we go. Fan art. Shout out to Ale Almeida with this
awesome piece.
Yeah. I was about to say manga inspired version of Storm. It also looks kind of like Marvel Rivalish a little bit too in terms of style.
It also feels like 2000s Cartoon Network, but rendered in modern colors.
Right. What am I looking at here? Horsemen of Apocalypse, Famine Storm.
Yeah.
Has Storm ever been one of the Horsemen of the Apocalypse? I don't think so.
She was one of the horsemen in the movie.
Yeah.
Where she got the mohawk and stuff from Apocalypse.
Yeah. We don't like to talk about that one too much.
No, we don't. It says, is she giant in this form? Oh, I think it's referring to the previous section.
Yeah.
Oh no. She's normal sized. She's just towering over them because she's so big.
Right. She's killed them.
Who's the artist on this one?
It's Dr. Akande. He did the promotional art piece for issue 1, where it's from Storm's perspective looking at Rogue. So now he switched it, which is like Rogue's perspective looking at Storm. It's crazy. So this is his version of Primal Storm versus Rogue Red.
96. Yeah. That was the costume she wore. Terry Dodson, the first Storm limited series, by Warren Ellis.
Yes, by Warren Ellis, yes.
So this is the Terry Dodson version.
With super long hair.
All right. Next, we got these from Jennifer Daniels on Twitter. Jennifer, I was not able to include one of the pictures. You know which one I'm talking about. It was naughty. I don't know. I don't know what the proper word is, but it was too much for a family channel. I've been told. I was going to post it because, I actually thought it was kind of dope, but, I don't want to get us in trouble. I get enough trouble here. So this is by artist ZipQ on Reddit. Now, there's a story. I was told there's a storyline behind these next few pictures. In this one, it says, here's the backstory. T'Challa's out on a date, getting some cheeks, when Storm calls. As her ringtone is Drew Hill's Beauty because of the line, and Beauty is her name, by Drew Hill, hence the contact name. You'll probably have to point out the women's clothes all over the place because T'Challa is with some other woman, but he still takes the call of his one true love, who is Storm. This next one is Black Panther and Storm is Lucky and Justice for Halloween. Artist is by KCS.
Super cute.
That's cute. He's got a Wu-Tang jersey on. Wu-Tang symbol, but it says Wakanda. That's kind of dope. This one was I thought the coolest one.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually a backstory based on Dotun's run on Storm. Says takes place between Storm 5 and Storm 6. Now, if you recall, that's when she had faced Dr. Doom, was quote unquote defeated, beaten. Storm calls T'Challa after returning from Latveria. He arrives with her vibranium armor and spear. Because remember, we keep asking Dotun, where'd you get the armor and spear? And he's been very evasive on that.
Very evasive.
And stays with her for a while to help her train. Mentioned that Dotun will be doing a follow-up piece of the training session around the end of the year. It's going to be crazy. The artist on this piece is Danny's Comics. So I thought that was a cool backstory that took place between two of the issues and fills in some of the questions that we had about this. I just thought it was a cool fan art idea.
I love all those fan arts that takes place within the continuity of the story. Like the one where Storm was flying on the razor bill and different stuff like that. I love this story a lot.
Right.
And I love this one. I love this one a lot too, with Margot and Inia Mini costumes.
So this is really cute. The kids is Edie and Meanie. That's crazy. Right after Halloween. All right. Storm, Earth's mightiest mutant. So you said the next issue of Rogue Storm, issue number 3, is the last issue. And then you will be moving on to a new series called Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. Is Shadows of Tomorrow the name of the first storyline? Or is that a subtitle?
Shadows of Tomorrow is the initiative for the entire X office. So it's basically us dealing with the ramifications of everything that happened, in the future. That's the Age of Revelation. So we're dealing with the ramifications in present time, and see how the heroes of now will try to avoid that future.
Gotcha. Chocolate asks you, Maria, when are you coming to New York City?
I don't know yet. There are a lot of things at play. I'm hoping I have free time, then the visa and all those things.
It's a lot of work.
So and I don't think
feel free, Chocolate, to give him a flight and a hotel. I'm saying it out there. Just throwing it out there.
I think that was
Let's
yeah.
well, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
Doton, don't
What's
be
that?
me. Don't get yourself in trouble.
Yes, I'm gonna stop myself because I don't. People will actually do it, and I don't want them to do that because I don't want to get anyone in trouble to pressure anyone to do anything. I just had an idea because I feel like a certain company should do a certain thing so that certain people can go do
Oh,
things on behalf of the company. But we're gonna move on.
I will say this. If you had to say there's one con in which your current employer is a huge presence, it's their con, their main promo con, it would be NYCC. They literally bring all of their writers and creators and artists to that con to promote whatever is the big deal they got going on at the time. Given that you're working on one of the premier characters in the Marvel Universe with a new series, I think that might be an apropos ask to help you promote that series. I think that's what Antoine's trying to convey.
I didn't say that.
no. We'll
That's
see.
me.
We'll see what.
That's what I'm saying. Antoine meant, even though that's not what he meant, because I'm just putting words in his mouth.
No, it's also because my schedule's been pretty tight. So, but we'll see what the next couple of years will be.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. Now, here's the thing. The one inescapable thing that you can't get, that you can't not talk about, is the fact that on this cover, I just now noticed that she has a lightning sword very similar to Miles Morales's. So that's kind of cool. But beyond
Very
that, underneath the name Storm, Earth's mightiest mutant. That says a lot.
Oh yeah, I think I'm not even sure if it was a comment on Instagram or it was a DM or something. Somebody insulting me like, yeah, you guys, what was with this Earth's mightiest mutant? You guys are crazy. Like, yeah. So yeah, it apparently upset some people. Well, I love it.
I mean,
Hey man, that's throwing the gauntlet down. That's like saying I'm the best of the best. Let's believe I'm the baddest. Someone's gonna have to take issue with that.
And there's two things
Yeah.
to remember about this. The first is, I would say the first in this instance, the first is three actually, but I'll say the first is this was Tom Brevoort's idea. Like the Earth's mightiest mutant, that was his all the way, and he made it very clear.
It's me.
He liked it.
Yeah.
He liked it very much, and it was going to stay around, and it didn't matter what other people had to say.
Yeah,
because it was going to be there. That's number one.
So I don't know why I'm getting the DMs.
Right?
Because it's not my idea.
Yeah.
You could only imagine the DMs Maria got after this drop, that this is what the series is going to be called. What are some names? Because I'm sure you must have gotten these, Maria. What are some names of characters being thrown out there to challenge this assertion that Storm is indeed Earth's mightiest mutant?
Who
are the trollers out there throwing out ahead of her?
Paul, let's not get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
Was that a bad question? I apologize.
We should
not necessarily. I think some talk about Legion, some talk about Jean Grey, and some characters, and some just don't talk about any characters. They just say this shouldn't be on Storm's book.
Yeah.
And number one, I didn't put it there. Number two, she's part of the Avengers. The Avengers' whole thing is that they are called Earth's mightiest heroes.
This is true.
Whatever mightiest means, it might mean strongest, it might mean most resilient, it might mean so many things. It's not a power scaling thing. It's just mighty has a lot of meaning, and so it's just this is a mutant that's also an Avenger. That's also what it means.
Yeah.
So
let's make sure. I don't want to gloss over what Maria just said. Two most important things of what he just said. Mightiest is an adjective. There are different interpretations of that adjective.
Absolutely.
There are different meanings of the term mightiest. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing he said, I didn't write Earth's mightiest mutant. That wasn't my line. So do not send him DMs and messages and hate mail saying, Maria, Oh, making her OP and power scaling her again and not putting her in her place. He didn't do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
but those were two of the points. My third point that in relation to this title is objectively, like let's just look at it objectively. What are the mutants seeing Storm in terms of influence, in terms of at this point money? You know, she's been the Queen of Wakanda. She's been a member of the Fantastic Four. She's been the leader of the X-Men. She's
Speak
been
on
the
it.
voice of Soul. Who else is mightier? And we're not talking, like you said, we're not just talking about power levels and power scaling. We're talking about impact. Like who's mighty?
Facts.
What other mutant is mightier than Storm? I'm sorry, you're not going to get one. If you do,
Facts.
you're pulling it out your behind. End of discussion.
Mhm.
Let's move on.
All facts. All facts. I'm gonna co-sign with you on that, Antoine. I got you back on that.
It's just come on, stop.
All right. Let's go to chat. Chat, I promised you that I would answer all of your questions. So, but before I do that, I apologize to Azazel Valentine. You sent us a super chat, $5. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Let's give you the super chat.
And he's
video.
very right. They're very right.
Keep in mind, weather and nature are the building blocks for life. So her summoning life is child's play. Oh my God, that's deep.
Show me the money! I need to feel you, Jerry! Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money! I love black people!
Appreciate you. All right.
Very true.
Let's start from the beginning. Eclectic Blurred's niche has been very patient. Numerous questions. How did EEGUN escape Eenie and Meanie's gullet? I think we kind of saw that in this issue. Go ahead.
Part of it to be explained in Rogue Storm 3. Part of it will be explained. I hope it's not a spoiler, but part of it also will be explained in Storm Earth's Mightiest Mutants.
Appropriate spoiler, I say. Foreshadow, yes.
Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. It's it's foreshadowing. It's cool. Is EEGUN on Mephisto's power level or greater since he slew potent magic users so easily?
I'm familiar with Mephisto. I've seen some of his feats. I think he has gone against Galactus at some points. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But EEGUN is pretty powerful. In issue 3 he's going to say a line about how he's far above gods, so that's is pretty crazy. But I'm not sure how he is compared to some other villains, just writing him based on, in relative to the characters in this story.
All right. I lost my questions. Hold on a second. Brother screwing up things right now. Here we go. Is Genesis somehow connected to EEGUN's escape?
Sadly, no.
All right. Question number 4. Is it possible for EEGUN to escape in the main timeline? That sounds spoilery.
I mean, anything's possible, right? Anything's possible.
Yeah, no comments.
Yeah, that's kind of spoilery. All right, number 5. Is Storm some sort of living bag of holding since she stored the vibranium brass knuckles in her body?
We will get a slight reason why she swallowed those brass knuckles, and and also we'll get a slight reason why she did that. But for EEGUN is the fact that EEGUN is more immortal than most immortals in the Marvel universe, which Eternity says. Eternity was like, as powerful as I am and far beyond you as I am, I can't kill you. All I can do is imprison you. So that's all you can do to EEGUN, imprison him, and it's usually using vessels to imprison him.
Next question. Silver Space Sentry. Recently, in Avengers #2, T'Challa's King of the Dead dominion over the undead was superseded by the Grail being used by Kang. Does death have a similar hierarchy to this dominion?
There's so many people that have power sets in necromancy and other stuff. I'm working on Death right now, not Death the character. Yes, the character, but also the concept in the Marvel universe. So something that I'm also working on, because if you die in the Marvel universe, it depends on which realm you go. And there's also the realm of death, So it's something I'm currently working on as well. Trying to synergize it.
Okay. Will we learn who taught Aurora magic, with most, if not all, magic users slain by EEGUN?
Yes, we will, but we've already gotten a hint at that Daniel Drum is teaching our magic.
I mean, the whole Age of Revelation storyline takes place so far in the future. There's a lot of opportunity for her to learn new bags of tricks.
Yeah.
Silver Space Sentry says, I'm loving Storm's magical prowess. Does Brother Voodoo, like Storm with weather, command the dead as an equal, while T'Challa commands the dead as a king? Like how Thor does with lightning?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
it's hierarchy.
What'd you say?
So what's the hierarchy of who controls who of the dead?
I can't say. I don't think necromancy is as an equal. Necromancy almost controls the dead almost like a god. They don't also give you up with it and everything. They raise you and say and move, So yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's all forms of necromancy. It's all forms of necromancy, but Dr. Voodoo currently might have a stronger hold because he's not only a necromancer now, but also the avatar of death. Which is
all right.
That level.
And we know death's coming.
Yeah.
And she's got cakes. Next question. I'm so terrible. With Brother Voodoo gone, who fills in the vacuum when it comes to necromancy? Could someone like T'Challa, who has at least a surface level knowledge of necromancy, become adept at it in this new age?
Oh yeah, someone like T'Challa can definitely do that. He's also a necromancer. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think Shuri might also be a necromancer too. There are quite a few necromancers in the Marvel universe, but yeah, T'Challa is one of the stronger ones. Yeah, it was when writing was considered for the role of Avatar of Death too.
Who was?
T'Challa.
Okay. Next question, Silver Space Sentry. What are the main spells Storm has learned in this time? Because we're talking this 10-year period. Are they from a particular school of magic, or are they more about buffing and rebuffing and debuffing? Good question.
She learns. She has learned Shadow Path. We've seen it's but it's going to be expanded on in the next issue. So there's Shadow Path, and then there's another group that she uses in the next issue that she's learned. I can't say the name without it being a spoiler, but it's a magic system that was introduced by Brian K. Vaughan in Doctor Strange: The Oath.
Was the swallowing scene inspired by Orochimaru swallowing the Kusanagi blade?
Maybe subconsciously, but consciously is more of Jujutsu Kaisen with Geto.
Cersei's Wineglass says, when is Wolverine coming back? Their baby is coming in June, but Logan is with Silver Sable. Who wrote this question?
Um,
Don't answer this question.
I think it might be rage bait.
Yeah, let's skip that.
I can answer it. Wolverine, we're not sure yet. We have to wait and see. For the baby, just look out for the solicitations.
What? Look at the solicitations for Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant.
Yeah.
We're gonna circle back to that, everybody. Wait, doesn't mean that Maggot is dead?
We will have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. Gosh darn it. Did the Shaman King or similar manga that deals with spirits inspire Aurora's invocation powers?
It's more of there's a story I was already been writing for myself that I was supposed to publish on my own. That I don't know what inspired it, but I already have a story that has that, where someone conjures these powers of, Orishas. And it also ties in beautifully into, Shadow Path from comics. So I'm not sure if it's come to me way before I was familiar with Shaman King.
Let's see. Next question here. No, not that one. This one. Al Ewing canonized Storm as magic itself. Will we see this explored further ahead?
Storm's relationship with magic, yes, but Storm as magic itself, I'm not sure, because I think some of that may have been updated as well with Scarlet Witch and some other things, but no, we'll wait and see.
Shouldn't Storm's relationship with the elements make her powers too much to be snatched by just anyone? The elements are like her Mjolnir.
Storm is the Omega of Omegas, but she's still a mutant. It's just that Storm has more things going for her, but some of those things still follow the laws of which they belong to. And our mutant ability still follows the law of mutant ability things. But yes, what we see is things like, maybe someone snatches Storm's powers, but they come back. Why do they come back? Because she has magical powers that she probably used to restore them subconsciously. But they did leave because it is mutant ability. So yeah.
All right. Is Genesis somehow connected to EEGUN's escape?
I think sorry. I'm speaking of Mjolnir. Like Mjolnir has been taken away from Thor like so many times now. So if we use that correlation, it's more proof that it can be taken from her, because Mjolnir can be taken from Thor. It's been done. There's a whole story I call Unworthy Thor that's explores that too.
It's called what?
No, Genesis isn't. Unworthy Thor. By Jason Aaron and Olivia Coipel.
Okay. I think that is all the questions. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, listen, everybody. I mentioned before I was going to bring this up. We have an event coming up. Black Comic Lords is having its first virtual con on December 6th. We are going to have the best and the brightest in the comics community at this con. I wonder if I could even bring that up. I don't know if I have the ability to do that. I hadn't planned on doing that, but give me a second. I might give you guys a little exclusive. if it works. It kind of sort of works this way. I'll be kind of ghettoifying it. So just work with me here. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see that? Well, you can't because I got the other screen up. I told you this is what happens when Derek's not here. I gotta like stop sharing and then go to this and then go here and go here and then go here. Now, can you see that screen? I don't even know what's going on right now.
So
That's not working. All right, I'll have to do that some other time because apparently I can't figure this out. But here is ultimately what I wanted to point out to you. We're having interviews with the best and the brightest in the comics. That's all I can tell you. But chief amongst those is Maria Ayodele, who's agreed to join us at the con. So thank you, Maria, for that. We'll be on the same panel with writers such as Stephanie Williams, Rodney Barnes, Jeffrey Thorne. The list goes on and on. You're going to be amongst equivalent company.
Those
I highly
are
encourage.
creators. Those are creators that Those are all creators that I was reading their comics even before I started writing comics. So it's an honor. Thank you.
You're going to be rubbing elbows with them virtually. I highly encourage everyone who's watching this to come to the con. This is never. I don't think this has ever been done before.
Mm-hmm.
Where we have this much of the best and brightest creators from our community at one con before. This is going to be historic. And I don't try to like overstate that. This is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Maria is going to be a part of it. I highly encourage each and every one of you to come and participate and witness history, be a part of history.
Yeah.
And all it takes for you to do is to join the Black Comic Lords YouTube channel, to subscribe to or get a membership with the channel. It's like $5. It's $5, and you get to join into this con. It's going to be going on all day, December 6th. I think from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. something like that. We're working out those logistics. Suffice it to say, it's going to be tremendous. Besides having roundtables and discussions, there's going to be giveaways of really dope merch. There's going to be a live auction, and there's going to be live art that's going to be done live with like great artists that, trust me, that you know. They're going to draw live and then auction off their art. You can get original art pieces from some of the best artists in the world at this con. There's going to be an award show. My man Big Phil is going to have collections in black, and he's bringing out some really dope people. Megascope Comics is going to be doing presentations. Stranger Comics is going to do a presentation. This is going to be a tremendously wonderful event, and I encourage each and every one of you to do it. So again, all you got to do to join the con, spend $5, get a membership to Black Comic Lords. I'd like each and every one of you to go ahead and try and do that right now if you can. And we'll see you on December 6th.
Yes.
Help support us, help support Maria's historic meeting with these other creators, and help us keep this thing going, man. We're working hard for you guys, and we're trying to do things bigger and better, and we need your support. We need your support. Support Black business. All right. So with that,
No, I saw one question I would like to answer. Well, someone said, is the Abraxas from the Storm comics same as the Abraxas from past Marvel comics? The answer is no. The Abraxas from the Fantastic Four comic was nullified with the nullifier. But we have different cosmos. That was the 7th cosmos, while we're in the 8th cosmos. So in the 8th cosmos, there's a new Abraxas. So this is the new Abraxas that comes with the 8th cosmos.
As I was speaking, we got some new members. Antoine joined up. Thank you very much, Antoine.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
thought
you,
I was
brother.
already. I was like, oh shoot, let me do that now. Sorry.
Zazel Valentine joined. Thank you very much. Lot
Thank
more
you.
y'all in the chat. It's $5, y'all. Come on. It's $5 to support a history. I don't like begging for money or asking people for stuff. That's not really my nature. It's not something I do. But this is important. This is literally important. This is an opportunity for us to not just talk about it, but to do something. So whether you do it now or tomorrow, please support the con. It's $5 to get a membership so you can get admission to the con and witness and be a part of history. So thank you very much, everybody. Y'all have any closing words?
Just grateful. I think I saw the sales charts on Amazon. Rogue Storm was like number 4 of the
That's what's up.
week. So I appreciate the continuous support, the trusts, and yeah, and everyone coming every Thursday for this show. I appreciate the views, the comments, the questions, the feedback. It encourages me to always keep doing my best. And thank you very much to everyone for the support, and thank you to Paul and Antoine for always doing this with me.
It's our pleasure and our honor. And give a shout out to some of the other writers. I've been reading some of the other stories because I hate crossover events, but some of these have been pretty good. Gail Simone, shout out to Eve Ewing. Some really dope stuff going on. I appreciate what some of those writers are doing.
Yeah.
Until next time, everybody.
Joe Kelly with Cecilia Reyes and Radioactive Spider-Man. Excuse me.
Yeah. Creating new characters.
Yeah. I think Misty Knight is in one of them. Was it Long Shots? Or I think it was Long Shot or Omega Kids.
Long Shots or Sinister Six. I'm not even sure.
Maybe Sinister Six. Okay, so yeah, we're seeing some black characters that are popping up that we don't always get to see. So it's been cool.
And the creation of some viable black X-Men. Appreciate that. Thank you for that. As I said, until next time, like this video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, get a subscription, get a membership to the YouTube channel, and join us December 6th at the BCL Virtual Con.
All right.
Next time, out. Peace.
See you guys.
Comic Lords. We got
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.